All right, so we are here in day 4, and today is going to be all about money. I called it Money Miracle Vision. I want to really dive into the money beliefs, the money outlook, the money identity. We're going to touch on all of this and how it relates to you living out your highest gifts, living out your expressions. So, one thing I want to hear from you is, do you feel comfortable and does it feel natural if you're in a group of people to say, I love money? And just feel into that as we prepare to get started. We'll give it another minute. I have to actually pull up this playlist here. My daughter had her computer. Let's see, there we go. There we go. All right. Let me tell you, it started showing up. So let me get this chat up here. All right. After all of my work around money, now I can say that I feel good about it. Yes, it does show up. Freaking miracles. It depends on who the crowd is. Okay, so that's good to know, Jillian. Not really. Okay. So the thing about money is, if you haven't known this by now, just hanging out with me, is that I love for women to make money. Women need to make more money. And as we can see, there's just so many people that are uncomfortable with money. It triggers them, it triggers their partner. There's fights about money. They can't talk to their family about money. There's shame about money. There's guilt about money. There's all this guilt and shame around debt. There's all of these stories and ultimately limitations. And it really, really pains us, right? So let's see. I love the idea of it depends on who the crowd is, because for any of you, who else feels that? I feel like a lot of people feel that, right? Where if you're with like your family, you may bite your tongue, or if you're with me and we're at Harmonious Hustle, it might feel easy. Everyone there is like, we love to make money, it's safe here. But then you go around your normal friends or people that you've been cool with since high school, and you may be like, damn, I'm going to sound like a greedy bitch and I don't want to be that. So that's what we are going to go into today. Before we do that, I want us just to close our eyes and ground, because if you haven't gotten to know that yet, that's what we do here. So let's just close our eyes. We're going to tune into our own energy here. And I want you to just give yourself that permission to be completely still. And take some really beautiful healing breaths. And I want you to really savor the inhale, realizing that this inhale is so sweet. You have the ability to breathe on your own, take in a beautiful deep breath, recharge, rejuvenate yourself. Just breathe in that way for a bit. With each inhalation, becoming more and more present of your body, your energy, your awareness. And now I want you to focus on the exhale. Allowing the exhale to be just as full, just as complete as that inhale. Fully letting go. What else do you need to let go of today? What kind of mental loop? What story you've been telling about yourself? Consciously decide to let it go with the exhale. And if there's one word, one quality that you need to give yourself today, what is it? Something that you need from you. Is it patience, encouragement, gentleness, motivation? What do you need? It's okay. And whatever it is that you needed for yourself, from yourself, I want you to consciously send that to one person you know. Just send it from your heart to theirs, like a Care Bear, if you know what they are. Just sending that light, sending that quality over to them, and see that they receive it. See that they receive it, and that you've now shared that quality that resides within you. And right now, I speak this word for each and every one of us, our sisters that are on the live call, all beings that will be on the replay. We invite Spirit to speak through me, to speak to everyone else, that they may open their ears, open their hearts, open their eyes, and see something that they haven't seen quite like this before, to help them take a stand, to take a step, to expand, to receive in a way that has not yet happened for them, and that it may be a blessing for them and also a blessing for others. And we set this free knowing that it's already done, and so it is. All right, my friends, so welcome. We are on our day 4. Each day there'll be slightly less people because this is what happens. We're doing something, it's 5 days, it's quite intensive. It requires your attention every day. It requires you to show up. Some of you are doing your post and doing that work, and that's really beautiful. So I want to honor you for doing that. And I hope that you're finding that showing up for this and doing that action also is creating a momentum in your business that is also helping you be more present for your purpose and to do the things. Today's this Money Miracle Vision, it came about because last night I was just asking, what do the ladies need? What does this group need? And really what I want to talk about is how your beliefs and expectation of money are going to shape the way money shows up for you. And it's really important that you get honest with yourself when you're doing this work, when you're journaling, when you are visioning, when you're having conversations with your closest friends or your mentors and things like that, that you're honest about where you're at. A lot of spiritual entrepreneurs and just women that are doing the work, they hear these things like, money's just energy. And they say it before they really embodied that. And they're moving through life declaring that, but really they don't believe it yet. And I want you to take that on as a yes belief, but also begin to embody these things. Yesterday, I had a conversation with 2 women about money. And one woman reached out, and I'm going to share this. Obviously, none of you know who she is, but she just said, Nicole, poverty is really a real thing for women of color. And I said, yes, I know that poverty is a real thing because I've lived it for about 27 years of my life and some of my 30s even. My family is still in it. When we're talking about money and we're talking about manifestations, when we're talking about creating your own economy in any economy, in any political climate, when we talk about these things, I want everyone to know here and now that when I say this, it's because there are many possibilities. And we need to really unpack our lens that we're seeing life with. It's always changing. We need to unpack it with honesty and be clear and stop fighting for our limitations. So let's talk about this. But Nicole, there's poverty and it's real. Yes. You know what else is real? Fear. Fear is very real. Fear, it can be very visceral. It can make you feel like you can't eat. It can make you feel like you feel shaky. It can make your body feel tight. How many of you have felt this when it comes to money? Some of you may have, some of you may not, right? Some of you may have family takes care of everything. I want you to know that these are very real things that the body experiences, and I'm not denying those. But here's what I want to invite you to do, to begin to focus on different possibilities that are also very real. So, what I've learned in my life and in my experience is that there's many things that we can focus on and amplify and choose as a yes. So, yes, poverty is real. Yes, coaches that their business never works is very real. Yes, it's very real that you may have shared some things and no one's bought. I'm not denying that. I'm asking all of you to start choosing a different identity and start to see things in a different way. This is not a one time you decide here on this call while you're with me. This is a moment by moment commitment. It's a devotion to this new way. What I believe in is that miracles are just as real as anything else. And I'm not speaking this from someone that's read a book and thought it was cute, or listens to Abraham Hicks and think it's a cute, nice theory. No, I'm speaking to you as someone that has built her business from nothing and in the struggle and in the poverty. It's given me great wisdom and perspective. So I don't regret any of it. But I share this with you because some of you, only you know if it's you, I don't know, you have to get honest with yourself, are attached and fighting, defending what's wrong, what's missing, what's not there. I've done it. There was a moment where this really shifted for me, and I think I talk about it in my book. I have a good friend that um, was on a flight with me. We were on a flight only because I was gifted the flight. We were going to Tony Robbins. We were going to this Fiji event. It was amazing. I couldn't afford it. I wasn't even anywhere near close to even affording just the cleanse aspect of that trip, but I manifested it. And on the way home, he was asking me a question and he said, well, couldn't you have had money by now saved? Couldn't you have a different financial reality now? And I was like, no, I'm a single mom. I went through all this trauma. Don't you understand? And I was so like, fuck him. I was so mad at him. Like, how dare he even question why I'm broke and don't have things? And what he said kept just churning for me. It kept just churning because I knew somewhere deep down that what he said was accurate and that I was creating my own money reality. So it took some time for me to unpack that because I was deep in a space of defending my identity, defending my reality as it's been, and what I've always known to be true about my money and what's real. And when it finally hit me, I realized that I was a victim to money, that I made money scary, bigger than me, more powerful than me. And for as long as that's the reality, that money's over here, it's hard to get, it's scary. When I think about it, I contract. I feel like there's not enough of it. And I feel like if there's not enough, I'm going to die. All of those feelings are money victim energies. And as long as you have them, you are going to have a hard time in your business. So what I had to do was understand that in every given moment, it felt like I had to get back on path, get back on path, get back on path. When I would have a hope thought, a faith thought, I would think things like, there are millions of people that need my work and they haven't even gotten to know me yet. I haven't even connected with them yet, but they're out there. I have to get with them. That was a hope thought. But I was toggling between that and no one's buying my stuff. No one cares. People are sick of seeing me. People don't care about what I'm about to put out in the world. No one can afford it. And I felt like no one could afford it because I couldn't afford anything. So it took me really releasing this identity and continuing to make a new identity. And I had to get really honest with myself. So that's what I want you all, this is what I want to start digging into today, is your beliefs about money, your beliefs about your community, I hear women sometimes when I work with them or when they're in one of my programs where they say stuff like, but nobody's paying attention. I want you to understand that if you have 35 views on a video, that's 35 people watching your thing. Can you imagine 35 people sitting in your living room with you while you present to them? Okay, you don't have to have 35,000 people. I have a very small email list and I make great, fantastic money and I live a fantastic life. You don't have to have those things. I want you all to know that. But what you have to have is people that feel you, that get you, that know your passion, and that you're showing up as your ideal client plus a couple of notches, right? Some of you want people to come pay you, but you are like pulling teeth trying to make an investment in yourself. You're like, but I don't know, I can't afford it. Meanwhile, you have like $20,000 just sitting on a credit card, but you have a belief that debt is bad. So you put that debt at a higher place in your life than doing something to grow your business, to grow yourself, and to expand in a way that you can't even imagine. So this is why I want some of you to start thinking a little bit differently about the beliefs that you've created about your money that are limiting how you show up. Because what I believe is that every time I make an investment, it fortifies and multiplies in my life. This investment is going to multiply and fortify my life in more ways than I can even imagine. So yes, it may seem like I can't afford it in this current paradigm with the lens I have now. But if I'm making an investment that's going to upgrade, expand my lens, I start seeing differently, I receive differently, people receive me differently, my energy differently, it's priceless. But for some of you, you're not operating in life and business that way. So let's go back to this idea of poverty being real, money fears being real, debt being real, but also, the money that is in your bank account in this moment, that's something that's real, but it can change like that. Like it can change like that, like literally. Jillian, I'm just going to call you out here just because I want to share. I love that one miracle from the one challenge you did. Jillian did like one of the free challenges and she decided she wanted a new computer, but at the time it was not in her budget to have a new computer. But she decided, F it, I'm getting it, even though, right? She put out on Facebook, I saw her ask people what their recommendation was of a new computer. I shit you not, Jillian reaches out to me and tells me that an old client in her 90s said, I want to give you money. I'm either going to gift it to you and you receive this gift, or I'm going to give it to a charity. When I say money comes out of nowhere, but there has to be a yes. So the universal laws are universal laws. The universe is responding yes to what you are fully saying yes to. This can't be a thing that's like, yes, I'm making money today. But meanwhile, every choice and energy and thought you have says, I'm going to be broke for a long time. I'm not going to have enough. That shit has to end. You have to catch yourself. This takes great awareness for you to do this because you have to be able to catch yourself when what you said in that moment of inspiration, that I'm going to have this goal, I'm going to have my first $10,000 month. And then you notice that when you're going to use your protein to make your protein shake, you're like not even filling up the scoop because you're like, I don't have enough money, right? Or you see something that's really beautiful, but you're like, I don't want to get that because I don't think I'll have enough money. So we have to just be willing to trust. But again, there's this discernment in dance that, is this expanding me to a fuller expression of who I am? If it's expanding you to a fuller expression of who you are, you're going to get to meet a different version of you on the other side of that yes. And that different version of you has access to different things. What do I think about budgets? I think that they are limiting. I personally have hired a CFO in my business and, she does my taxes. We talk about budgets in an expansive way, right? So for me, if you're living in a way, this is what I would say about budgets. Look at your lifestyle and ask yourself, do I want to budget within this limitation of this amount of money I make? And I want you to really catch this energy here. Because energetically, if you set a budget and you are moving in the means and the box of that budget, what you are making an agreement with the universe and signaling in this moment is, this is all I'm going to have. This is how I'm going to move. Now, it's good to know my rent costs $3,000. It's good to know my car costs $500, whatever those numbers are. It's good to be aware, but you need to have space for the miracles. And if you're not making space for the miracle, it's not that they don't want to come to you. It's just that a miracle is an unknown. Everything else is logic. So logic is every past condensed thought form, everything that's already happened in the past, everything that's happened in your experience, everything that you've heard happen in someone else's experience. That is what we call logic. So when we're trying to make a logical decision, we're like, you don't realize this, but you're pulling out your mental Rolodex of what happened to Uncle Greg, what happened to Aunt Cheryl, what happened to Dad, what happened to my friend, what happened last time I tried this. All of that is creating what you're doing in logic. But when you're asking for a quantum leap, you're asking to collapse timelines. You're asking for things to happen in ways that you've never experienced before. And like I always tell my ladies that roll with me, we're in the miracle realm. We're not doing mediocre. And it really requires you to step into a different space. So I see questions over here. I'm not going to answer them right now. I'm going to stay in this because it's flowing. Let's go back to this idea of the reality and the falsehoods, right? Or let's just talk about the reality. That feels better to me. So the reality is like, yes, poverty is real. Yes, people are fighting over $600, $2,000 stimulus checks. My belief is let's make that $1,400 difference irrelevant. Who gives a fuck? I'm not waiting for a stimulus check, but I had to decide that I am going to show up and there's money out there and I'm going to get it. I love that Grant Cardone says this thing. Grant Cardone is like so the opposite of what an average spiritual entrepreneur would probably listen to. But he has some good tips in here. And here's one of my favorite things that Grant Cardone says. He says, other people have your money. Go get it. Like literally, what do you need? Do you need $2,000 for something? It's out there. Go get it. Some of you have been domesticated just like you were in school by other coaches. And here's what I mean by that. You've been taught that there's a right way to make your business work and you're trying to do that right way. And that shit's not working. And if it's not working, stop doing it. Now, I understand that entrepreneurial energy comes more natural to some of us than others, and that's okay. I do believe that if you're getting a call to do this, that there is an entrepreneurial energy that is asking to emerge through you. So embrace it. But here's what I mean by this. If you would have looked at my first 3 years in business, really first 4 years in business, there's no real rhyme or reason. I followed my intuition. And when I needed to make money, I did my spiritual process. I say spirit is my strategist. I believe in allowing the spiritual work to go before strategy because your spirit is abundant. Your spirit is going to guide you in the way of more and fuller expression, always. But you may be limiting it with what you think business should look like, where you think the money should come from. You're just driving down that one path of this is the way my business should be. This is what my coach said. This is what my certification taught me. No, 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 no. I don't believe in that because if you do that, it may have worked for that person, but it's not going to work for you. And you'll know by the way it feels when you're sharing it. Is it connecting with your people? When you are selling it, are people buying? So this is where we just start to let go and ask new things. So again, back to this reality. The reality is that you are infinitely resourced. That's why I'm not going to agree to any of your money problems. I'm not going to agree to them. Don't think that I will. Here's why. Because if I can do what I've done, and now I've witnessed all my clients pull miracles. I don't know if you all have listened to Monique's story. Have you all listened to that? Monique, one of my clients. She shares this stuff, and this is why I'm sharing it with you. But she was shook to come into Miracle Worker Method because it was the biggest investment she's ever made. So she reached out to me and I like gave her some like loving nudges over the edge, talked about these things. She ends up manifesting winning one of my scholarships. Chanel pulled her name out of the thing. She gets $1,000 off. And then she gets all of this money comes in and she ends up paying off her payment plan early. And like that just happened. She went from scared because her reality was, I can't afford this, to living in a miracle space of there's other possibilities here and I'm willing to believe in them, but it's going to come in a way that you don't expect it. And that's what we have to be able to grasp, because what happens is we want to know how it's coming. Some of you are so used to knowing how money is coming. You're like, but I get paid the 1st and the 15th, and I get paid $4,000. And I'm just used to getting paid from my boss. That's my only source and supply. But your true source and supply is spirit. It's this energy that's guiding you to take your first step, to eat that thing, to drink water, to go to sleep, to call that person, to create that program. That's your true source and supply. What we have to do is a great deal of unlearning to stop living life this way. You know, and it doesn't make sense. I'll tell you, I'm still learning myself. Like I just thank you, Donna. I just booked a trip to New Orleans. It didn't make any sense because I'm like, I want to go to LA. So, but then I was like going back and forth and I was like, I want to book a photo shoot. I was just like following where spirit is guiding me because there's a access point in these desires. Right? So going back to these things, with whatever you believe about your limitations, about your bills, what you say is real, is going to be real for you. So my dad would say something like this to me when I say that. He goes, well, why don't you just call the credit card company and tell them that this isn't real? And I go, no, I'm not going to do that because A, to them, it is real. And what's real is that I can have two possibilities here. I can have many possibilities here, but let's just go over a few. We can have a possibility of, I have credit card debt. It's been heavy on me forever. I don't know how to get over it. It's like, a never ending pile of pain and suffering and limitation. That's a reality. Then there's another reality that I will have enough to make these payments for the foreseeable future. I'm not worried about it. Here's another reality. I'm going to have more than enough to pay this. In fact, I'm going to pay it off early and I don't know how, but I'm committed to it. And that's the energy I'm living in. And this is what I'm declaring as my truth. And I'm going to show up as that every day. There's other realities. I'm going to pay this off at the end of the month. I don't know how, but I'm inspired and I'm going to show up because other people have my credit card payoff money and I'm going to go get it from them. Like there's ways that we can play with this. But it is really a commitment to your wealth consciousness. Right? I know a few of you have been in Money Miracles. Money Miracles is my money program. I want you to know that anytime you spend time with me, my energy and frequency is about we're making more money. Here's why. If you're going to live as your most impactful self, you are going to need some money. You are going to need to take care of your body. You're going to need to take care of your energy. You're going to need to take care of your home. You're going to need to take care of your people. And what we want to do, because you're pregnant with these ideas that some of them are coming in a few months and some of them will be coming in a few years, some of them will be coming in a few decades, but you are infinitely pregnant with ideas. And you will never give birth to them if you do not create the right conditions. This means that you're going to be around the right people, that you're going to spend time with people that hold you accountable, to have the right mentorship, to live in a place that inspires you, to be able to travel and to go places that are going to activate you. These are not like frivolous luxuries. To an abundant coach, someone that really takes their mission and purpose seriously, look at anyone that you really look up to, look how they're living their life. They're living in this way because they need to take care of themselves and also they want to reach a different access point. So I want you to understand that there are abundance access points. Some people call them codes. But when you reach it, when you touch it, when you're in the presence of it, when you feel it, it unlocks a new reality for you. And one other conversation I had about money with a woman yesterday, she reached out to me and I saw in my DMs that she reached out to me in 2018. Still hasn't invested in a program, but guess what? The conversation was still lack of money. So I had a conversation with her. I said, look, I'm not going to convince you to come into this program. Here's a link. If it speaks to you, take the step, join. But here's what I want to remind you with love, that in 2018, you had the I don't have enough money story. We're in 2021. How long do you want to carry this fucking story? How long? Because the thing is, when you make a decision, I don't want to do this because I don't have the money, but the thing that you're about to say yes to is meant to grow you, grow your money, grow your business, grow your energy. What you're essentially saying no to is that I'll stay where I'm at. This feels more comfy. This feels more safe. I'm going to stay in this box of this budget because this box of this budget feels responsible and logical, and I don't need a miracle. So we get to decide. Is this landing for you all? Like these theories and ideas? So, okay, cool. I'm seeing lots of yeses here. So we can look out and see a reality, and we don't want to deny. Hi, April. We don't want to deny a reality, but we want to know this. There are 7 billion plus realities out there. And within those 7 billion plus people, there are infinite realities and identities that they can create. It's infinite. And I wanted to share this with you. I was thinking about this today because I was getting ready, and it was so funny. Like yesterday, I wore my brand new like red bottoms. Haven't even wore them out yet, but I wore them for you all, even though you can't see them. But it was an energy thing that I wanted to wear. And then today I'm getting ready, but every day I have 3 outfits since I've been doing this challenge. I have my pajamas in the morning, my workout, this outfit I wear for you, and then I change into something comfy later. But I want you all to know that like I used to have this identity that I'm keeping it real. My people know me as keeping it real. So I just always wore workout clothes. And then I realized that identity was keeping me limited. It's not about anyone else. It was about me. There was this fuller expression of me that wanted to be extra. Like I like being extra, but I wasn't giving myself permission because I always thought that I have to keep it real. The thing is, our authentic truth and divinity is so much more than hairstyle, clothing, program offers, so much more than that. It's beyond that. But what we get to do in this lifetime is we get to play. We get to be whoever we want any moment of the day. Let people think they know who you are. They fucking don't, right? People do that. They read my book and they're like, yeah, but I know you. You know, I'm so much more than any of these things. And so are you. Give yourself permission to play and notice when you're in groups or people, relationships that keep you in a box. The box of you only make money like this. You only wear that. You only say those kind of things. That's not who you really are. You are the identity creator, the meaning maker of your life. And as you expand your own boxes, everything shifts. So let's take a little break here, and let's just close our eyes and let some of this integrate to see what message is really true for you. All of you heard something different here, which is really cool about these things. You all heard something differently. One of these quotes, one of these segments of what I shared is meant for you. So let's just close our eyes for a moment, and I want you just to be still and ask for whatever message you need to really work on today. And the way you can do that is just for some of you that may need some guidance, just completely let go and practice listening. Remember, I said that spirit is going to guide you. Spirit doesn't guide you to limitation and being in a space of not enough. That's not spirit. That's patterns. That's fear. That's disconnection from your divinity. So I want you to listen as if you were going to hear something, catch what you were meant to know today. And if you are truly ready for a new money identity, if you are truly ready to make your current budget, your current box, your current lifestyle completely irrelevant, like move beyond quantum leap, that's something you need to declare and make peace with within yourself. So have a prayerful moment. And remember that you are not praying to an external source, that this intelligence is right there within you, that you are an access point. Now I want you to feel into an upgraded lifestyle, an upgraded identity, an upgraded way of life. Literally, everything can shift so quickly, but you must give yourself permission to say yes to that, to open up to something that you have never experienced before, which is a miracle. Welcoming the unfamiliar. Allow yourself to say yes. Now let's take some deep belly breaths because I'm feeling some things in my belly. I think I'm picking up on some things. Notice where when you talk about money, feel money, talk about your budget, talk about your bills, talk about your business. Notice where in your body you feel that. For some, it's in the throat, some it's in the shoulders and back, and others it's in the belly. So breathe into that space. Let your nervous system know that it's safe to relax, it's safe to receive, it's safe to surrender to a new reality. There's many different kinds of realities. Now let's open our eyes and come back. And I want to know how many of you are truly different, are truly ready for that different kind of reality. Not the reality that you've been knowing up until now, not what your bank account says, not what has been in your mind playing, but how many are truly, really willing that you'll let go of defending your limitations? And this is something that you have to live in moment by moment by moment by moment. Dr. Joe Dispenza, I love him. I love his work. He doesn't talk about it as money as much, and that's okay. He does a lot around health and healing. People go to his events. I went to a 7-day retreat of his. It's very intensive, but I'll tell you this, there's people that have cured some crazy stuff, the incurable, fast. And they talk about the energetic field around the body and how everyone that has, for instance, uterine cancer or prostate cancer or whatever the things are, they have a measurable magnetic field. There's a frequency that goes along with each disease. And like everything is energy. It's the way we move, it's the way we talk, it's the way we receive, the way that we hold on, everything. It's what we think, it's what we picture out in the world and what we picture about ourselves. But I found this was really interesting. And what he talks about all of these things, and he has a book called You Are the Placebo. It's a thick book. I'm not through it. But what I want to say is this. Let me shut this. In the placebo book, he talks about the power of expectation. And when a doctor gives someone a injection of some sort and says, this is going to make you better. This is top of the line medicine. It's expensive. It has a weirder name. Like this is going to heal you. That even if it's saline, it heals just as many people as the actual pharmaceutical version does. Because they have said yes to the expectation of it. Now, this same placebo effect, it happens with money. It happens with our businesses. It happens with our ability to connect with other people, to welcome in love. So I saw somebody says, what happens when the part removed? The energy stays the same, so it will come back if you don't do something differently. So this is why I'm asking you, you have to do something differently. You have to do something differently. Because here's the deal. Making a one-time statement, I wrote my goal, this is cute, I'm going to put it up here, I'm going to make a vision board, but you are moving through life the same way, thinking the same thoughts, the images of the mind are the same, nothing changes. This is why I don't even do vision boards anymore. Like, you can do one if you do it the right way, but you have to be deeply connected to it and committed and energetically aligning with it. So thoughts are our thoughts. Our life is made up of the images and pictures in our minds, right? And some of you have an image and picture of like it not working out. I've seen women back down from what was about to be something so amazing for them because they can't get over that picture of it not working out and calling that reality. You get to decide what reality you are buying into. I want you to decide it today. And I want you to know that you are the creator of your reality in that sense. This is why there are things that happen to some people and it takes them down, it takes them out, it ruins their life forever. And other people, they're like gaining wisdom from it. They become so strong in it. Their life changes in it. You got to decide what you feel, what you are making true about your reality. And know that it is very human for you to feel the toggle, right? It's very human. I know for me, when I've done something that has been on my edge, that was really going to take me into a new energetic reality, it has felt like, oh my God, this is scary. Oh my God, should I do this? I have gone back and forth about it. I had to call friends about it. Like I've done those things, but what I've learned now and why I trust my own process is because what I can say after like the last 10 years of making investments in myself and doing the illogical again and again and again, is that every time I do it, it expands who I am. It creates a fuller expression of myself. I get to meet a new aspect of myself, and that is my abundance, and that is part of me becoming more me. That is the same thing for you. It's the same thing for you. So I see some of the things here. Jessica, I didn't meant to see it. I didn't get the message. So one thing I want to remind you all is to just have a moment with yourself tonight and to see where you're defending your reality. You don't have to don't DM me your money reality from your lens. I'm not going to buy into it. I'm not going to buy into it. You're looking at a mother that was a single mom without a fucking couch that decided I was going to invest in a $2,000 program when it made 0 cents. I didn't have the money. I didn't have incoming money. I was like, I'm going to get this. It's going to happen. And I was open and resourceful and resilient, and it always happened. I'll tell you, the time I went on a $15,000 trip to India, the teacher at the time, no one really knew him, but I knew he was life-changing. Now he's been on Goop and people see him and they're like, oh my God, it probably costs double the price now. But I used my rent money to do that. And I asked my friend to borrow money to buy the trip to India, the flight. I just knew that if I did that, I was going to be a better teacher. I was going to attract better clients. I was going to meet a different aspect of myself. I was going to become a fuller expression of myself. So I took a lot of risk and I did it. And I want to share this because this is an interesting story of like kind of like Jillian's. I shared this before, but I'm going to share it again. When I got back from that trip, I was processing because it was a lot. And there wasn't clients coming when I needed them to come. And there was like a week of like, but God, you told me to do it, or spirit, what the hell? Like I obeyed and now I don't have the money. So I went into my what I know to do, which was went into an affirmative prayer. I was in the back of the McDonald's in LA getting an iced tea that was literally all I could afford, like 99-cent drink at the moment, because I just went on this crazy life-changing trip. And I was waiting for Chanel to get off of school. And in that moment, I remembered I'm infinitely resourced. I remember that I'm supported by the whole. I remember that I said yes to this because it was a call on my heart and not a frivolous desire. It was a growth thing. So I'd said to the thing that I was going to have the money I need. It's coming out. I was declaring I wanted $10,000. So get this, I'm going to Chanel's school, probably a mile and a half away. And as I'm driving down the street to her school, I see a real estate sign. And I see that it's my friend's thing and he's having an open house. And I still have time for Chanel. So I was like, I'm going to go see him. You know, he's my friend. He's always happy. You know, he'll be a good vibe at least. And I got there and he goes, like, tell me about India. And I like was like, well, it was good, but now I'm kind of paying the price. And he was like, what do you mean you're paying the price? And I told him, I was like, well, you know, I knew I was meant to go, but now like I spent all my money and all the stuff. And he was like, okay, well, I know you're doing good work in the world. Let me loan you. Let me invest in your business. He literally Zelled me $10,000. But see, I end up A, I paid him back the cash. B, he ended up marrying my friend Jessica. So like, you know, everything went together. But I want you to know, like, the money doesn't have to come from a client. Like I have like full body like vibrating right now talking about that because this is the power of you. This is the power of the whole. Stop trying to look at your little credit card, your little bank account, and thinking that this, what has been, is going to be who you are and take you there. So if you ever read my book, then in the front of the book, I say thank you to my friend Daniel. And that's why my friend Daniel is like, I always say, like, that's like one of those earth angel moments. Who would ever think? I didn't go there for money. I never expect him to just give me $10,000 for sure, not. But I was also open, like, it's coming, right? So I live this way. And when women are in my world, I ask them to join me here. You don't have to go spend your rent money. You do what feels true for you. I'm just sharing with you that these are not theories, that when I say that I'm a miracle worker, I believe in the miracle and I'm going to focus on a miracle more than I'm going to sit here and believe your stories about what's been, and my own, whenever I feel the fears, whenever I feel the things. So I want you to notice where you're focusing on what is and making what is the ultimate reality. And here's the distinction, a little distinction I want to throw in here for you. Notice where you're making yourself not have enough in the future. I get women do this all the time. I can make the first payment, but I don't know if I can keep making the payment for 6 months. Like, you know, this month was good, but I think next month I'm not going to have enough. Notice where you do this to yourself. You know who taught me this? Michael Beckwith taught me this. He would tease the people in the church at Agape and say, some of you want to go to the retreat in April. It's January and you're saying you don't have it. So you're not going to have money between now and April. Like, you're going to proclaim, like, declare that you're going to be broke between now and April. So just notice, this is all about awareness. I still do it in my life. I'm still learning new energetic set points. I'm still learning that it's okay to part with this. It's okay to circulate. It's okay to give. But I want you to know that have your agreements about it. Have your agreements about it. So what are your agreements? When you give someone a tip, do you tip the coffee people, right? Like, do you give them $1, $2? But like, I used to be like, they're just pouring coffee. They're not serving me. I don't need, like, what is this tip on a coffee? Like, that's how I was like years ago. Now I'm always taking care of my people because I have an agreement with my money that as I circulate it out for the good, it comes back to me multiplied. And I don't have to figure that out. It's just, I'm going to be inspired. I'm going to be guided. So I'm inviting you to develop a new relationship with money, but really it's not even about money. It's developing a new relationship with your true source and supply, which is the infinite, God, universe, call it what you will, but it's ready. It's here for you. So, Fitzy, thank you so much. I'm so glad you joined. Let's definitely do it. Now, I can't even believe it's 15 minutes after the hour. Okay. So let me get to something here. Tomorrow we are announcing these giveaways. 750, 500, Harmonious Hustle, valued at 500. And I want you to do a challenge today. And I want you to share something about this money, these beliefs, your own declaration. I want you to inspire someone else. You have to know there's so many people that they have this money thing. It's going to keep them like this forever. It's going to keep some people that have the ability to be so great. We all have an ability to be great and to be fully expressed and all these things, but it requires you to invest in yourself. It requires you to get around the right people, right? You have to understand that agreement. Like, it's an energetic resonance. And that's why when people spend time with me, they start thinking differently, because I'm constantly brainwashing you into looking for the miracle, which I think is a good kind of brainwash. But the life is brainwashing us to, it's a bad economy. Everyone's sick. Everyone's dying. No one has the money. We're fighting over the stimulus. They're bad. We're good. That's toxic. I'm not hanging out there. You got to decide where you're hanging out in this time and what you're going to do in this time. And this is a season where you can financially thrive, but you got to decide to do things differently and show up a different way. Now, I want to share about the method, because this is really cute that I did see, or sweet, I should say, that even Monique, one of my clients that did the method, Tatiana's done the method, that she was getting messages that other people were saying they don't have the money for the method, but they were reaching out to her because of what she shared in the video, which I think is sweet. But she was like, this is really powerful. People are paying attention. Here's what I want to remind some of you, because I got questions yesterday. Who is this right for? I'll tell you who was in the last one. We had MLM leaders, right? We had 2 leaders that run a team within a network marketing company. So they wanted to be able to take their clients on a journey that was having this awareness, having the awareness around money, being able to take them through spiritual process that helps them have more success and to be better. We also had coaches, right? We have all sorts of coaches, wellness coaches, empowerment coaches. We have people that have never coached, and we have some that had multiple 6-figure years, right? Shout out to Tatiana, who was one of those ladies. So it's like everyone was different, but everyone learned from each other by answering the questions, asking the things. And the library of this program is designed for you to either create your own offering or to add on to your current offers. It's just going to make you a better teacher. I have gone all over the world and made great investments, studied with phenomenal teachers to learn my method, but also not that. I have learned my method by going through my own pain and suffering and getting over like unforgivable things in the past. And I teach you how to go into your client sessions and help them transmute the things from their past, help them get back into their body. It's going to make you a powerful teacher that your clients are going to seriously notice the difference. That's what I've seen for the ladies that have done it, that already have clients. They take these things in, they start doing their own activations, and it's changed their business, right? So I want to invite you that if you're one of those people that wants to take one of the last spots, join in. If money is the thing, but you're really willing to get over that bullshit, then reach out to me. But if you're someone that wants to keep defending your thing, just you're not ready yet. It doesn't mean it's not going to be scary. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be like, oh my God, but can you look towards a new reality and decide that you want your future to look different than now and that you are going to work for it? And other people have your money. So you're going to start crafting and creating programs, offers, free things, and experiences so that you can transform your reality. And the cool thing is you have a lifetime access to the course, right? But we are in this together, and I'm coaching you throughout the whole time. You can ask me questions in the Facebook group. We have live calls. So you are with me, and I am there like, let's do this. Let's do this in the most loving, beautiful way. But I want you to win, and I believe in everyone that is ready to step in. So let me know if you have a question. I would love to answer them. Otherwise, ladies, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, come with some space to move around. We're going to do a celebration. We are going to move into some really high vibes as we move through the weekend. And, you know, if you are someone that is ready to do this work and go on a 3-month journey with me, let's play. Let's go into the miracle realm. I can't wait to see what it has for you. All right, ladies. Bye.